Yo, and welcome to the MixWizard Sessions episode 15, the DLive Qlab Control episode. I've already mentioned I want to look into some theatre applications with DLive, and I thought, what a great place to start, Qlab Control. Qlab is a great bit of software that many people use to drive their sound effects on their theatre shows. So I'm going to look at that setup and how you go about doing that. DLive talks MIDI over TCP, which is MIDI over your piece of Cat5. Qlab, running on a Mac, inherently talks MIDI over IP. So it's pretty straightforward to set up. But let's look at the technical bits so we know how to make this work. First things, obviously, got to download Qlab. It's a piece of software. It's not made by Alan Heath. It's a third party. But it is a great piece of software for doing sound effects. You need to download the DAW Control app from the Alan Heath website and install that on your computer. Let's look at how we go about setting that up. On my Mac here is the DAW Control piece of software. I have DLive selected and I've gone and set things up to how I'm utilizing the MIDI on TCP. The important bit is this bit where it says DLive mix rack and this IP address. It must be the IP of the mix rack you are wanting to control. Okay? You can see I'm connected and I'm ready to go. We need to look at the MIDI setup within Qlab. I've got a bunch of sound effects here that I've created for my episode. And if I go and look at their trigger information within Qlab, MIDI trigger is on, channel 4, it's got a note value and then the velocity. Velocity is just full, okay? If I select each of those, you'll notice they all have a different note. So they're all individual cues. On the DLive, I can fire those cues over MIDI via the soft keys or via the scenes. So let's look at the soft key setup. In the DLive, that lives under Surface, and I've gone and set some soft keys up here already. Soft key 14, 15, and 16. Okay, I've made them custom MIDI, so you select that from your drop-down menu. And then I've got press and release. So I can have one sound effect on press and one on release. Two different options here. I only have it set up with one. It's got some gobbledygook, which is hex, okay? MIDI is inherently a hex, a decimal protocol, so that's hex. Qlab talks MIDI note information. If you're like me and you don't speak fluent hex, I went and created my own Excel spreadsheet that has the hexadecimal information and translates that to the relative MIDI information, and I just cross-reference on my spreadsheet and go, that hex is that MIDI. Sweet, handy. Once you've hit apply, I can then fire a sound effect. Okay, so, so I thought they were very relevant sound effects to my episodes. Okay, so if I had a sound operator, they could operate these and I wouldn't have to keep saying okay, so got to have a bit of fun at myself, don't I? You can see it's very instantaneous and very quick in that. What I tend to use this for is gunshots, telephone rings, things that I don't want within a scene where I'm watching the performance and I need to press the button, okay, at the right time. So, yeah, it's a great way of doing sound effects, and depending how you've set the sound effect up, it could keep playing while you're holding the button, and as you release the button, it does another trigger to stop the Qlab cue. There's many ways of doing it, okay? Let's look at scenes and how we go about setting scenes up for this. I've got a couple of scenes here that I've already set up. One thing I do, normally I've gone and set up that there is nothing in the recall filter. Everything has been excluded from the recall filter, and all I am doing is doing a MIDI cue. Okay, it's the same hexadecimal info, very straightforward. I've already set it up, so if I fire this cue, yo, and it fires my sound effect. If I go to the next cue, which is another sound effects cue, okay, it will fire that sound effect. I tend to, most of the time, block everything out of the recall filter, and once you do that, the only thing being activated when you hit go is the sound effect. Unless I want some fader moves, and then I might include those. Hope that makes sense. What if we went to absolute town? Because Qlab can do more than just audio sound effects. Qlab can control videos and many things. It can play back videos. So if we went to town, what would that look like? Yo! I'm back now with my supercharged DLive Qlab setup. Supercharged in that I've added custom controls to this. I've created a custom control app that is controlling Qlab through the DLive. And what's great about this is you can create a custom GUI on the iPad, on the custom control app, that gives the user a real unique interface to rolling the Qlab cues. Let's take a look at it. So here's my custom control app I've created, and you can, by looking at it, you can see, well, there's a bunch of videos we can play. I've got some IR buttons for some instant replay cues, some anthems and other things. So what happens if I press something?
So we're running
it rolls the video.
DLive CDM32.
Hey!
It's like the core of our setup.
It's our mate Dylan. He's a cool dude. Who else is in here?
Can we see how you have your C1500
Sounds like bangs to me.
Totally.
Sweet.
So basically,
And
I
Drew.
run most of my show off the DC.
All the Alan Heath family are right here.
Then there's the big edition.
Who's this guy?
SQ Core MIDI in and out for automation,
We know him.
theatre and install use.
So it's pretty cool. It's all just touch control, and it's firing those videos instantly. So through the DLive, controlling Qlab. Pretty cool interface. What about if I've got an instant replay cue? Some backing music that I could talk over for a presentation. Or the ideas are endless. What about the anthem? Might have to stand up and sing the national anthem. What do you reckon? Hopefully this is giving you guys some great ideas, and hopefully you're thinking about your own possibilities of how you could utilize this. I think the possibilities really are endless. I think it's truly unique, and this is one of these cool, unique features that makes DLive such a powerful platform, where I'm creating a custom control app with a great GUI that controls Qlab. I think the possibilities are endless for sports presentation type setups, theatre shows where you might give the app to the stage manager and they're rolling sound effects or things because they can see it better. In church applications, maybe where you're giving the app to a service producer and they're rolling the videos, just bang, hit it at the right time. I think there are endless possibilities with this, and hopefully I've given you some ideas to go away and create some. So yeah, if you've never tried it, get in and have a little bit of a look at this setup, get custom control apps, and hopefully this has been helpful in how to set up Qlab. I'm going to jump into some more theatre stuff, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. See ya.